Hey, WheelSnipeSelly here. It is Thursday, March 23rd, 2023. Here's our daily candle. We opened, we ran up, took out the previous day open, and then came back down and then traded back up. So this was the movement. We have our daily fair value gap here. We were just shy of coming up and touching the higher daily fair value gap. I have this volume imbalance here noted, so we kind of traded through that a couple times, and we came down and we took out the previous day's low. So a lot of fast-paced action today. Let's go down to the 1 hour. And so here we are. Here's our open from yesterday. We ended up trading up. We traded back down. So you can see here this volume imbalance. We actually traded down into this, and look how those bodies of the candles respect that right there. We end up filling in all of this range from yesterday. And you can see here, I have optimal trade entry here. So I was looking at that. This is the OTE for this. Well, at the time it was here when I did it. You can see this is our OTE box that I had. I was kind of keeping an eye on that. We also had a fair value gap from right after FOMC, and then we have the wick here. I have buy side noted here. This is from yesterday. I just kind of kept that there. What else do I have going on here? You can see all of my weekly opening gaps here. And then I had this kind of noted as a breaker, but this really didn't do much. Okay, let's go down into the 15. So right from the morning opening, this was the, here's midnight, well, almost midnight. And we made a high in London, and then we made a low basically right before the morning session. And then this is a really choppy action right here. And then it basically traded down into this 15-minute fair value gap and then just shot up. So I wasn't looking to take any trades until at least after 10. I was going to wait for that. We have the opening range gap here. So these yellow lines, these are our opening range gap. Let's go down to the 5-minute. And so you can see here, I try to take a trade in this area. Let me put my trades back on. Try to take a trade here. This is a loss. This was a win here, and then I had a win here. So a short, another short, and then a long. Let's go down to the 1 minute. We'll get down into the details. Okay, so right here, this is my first trade. We kept taking out buy side. I was looking for this to go short. So we had taken out buy side here. We have this breaker. So I entered right at the beginning of the breaker. We had this like little fair value gap here, but ended up getting stopped out right here. So that was the first trade, and was just looking to take down the sell side right here. I saw this as a structure shift here. I do have in here ICT end up trying to take a short, I think right here, and he got stopped out and then took a long up into this fair value gap. So I'll kind of play that because I was kind of following along with him today. Then this afternoon, right into the lunch session. So I was basically waiting for the run on lunch stops. And so I entered right here on this fair value gap. And then we had this, I basically entered right here. I also noted this other market structure shift. This was a long trade, and I was just kind of documenting things. Almost, I think I was within like half of a handle of getting stopped out, but it eventually moved to, this is, ICT had mentioned this is a high resistance liquidity run day. So really difficult to trade today, but basically took this down from, I was looking at 50%. This was actually a 10 handle move. And so I went down to, basically went down to this. This was the first target, but I ended up going to this fair value gap. I'll take this off, and then, oops. And then down here, so ICT did a live stream, basically called the move. I think the live stream started right around here, and he basically called this move that tapped this all the way down here, and he just kind of walked us through that. We saw on the stream that, you know, this is the macro at 3, and it basically took out some stops. So I was watching this. I watched this come down, take out sell side. Then I wanted to get long to take out this buy side. That's where I thought the macro was going to go. So I actually was drilling down to like the 30 and the 15 second. And just real quick, I'll show you guys. So what initially, once I saw it take sell side here, it found support off of this down close candle. So then I was looking for my structure break. So came up, it broke it here, and then broke it again here. So once we traded back down into this fair value gap, which if I go back to the 30 second, I think, yeah, on the 30 second, I had my entry right here, and I was just shooting for this. So this was like I think an 8 handle move. Ultimately, my target was up here. So eventually at some point, if I'm able to do multiple contracts, I could take one off here and then hold for my target. So, but anyway, so that is a quick recap of the day. Like I said, it was a pretty quick day. It was kind of difficult to trade, but I was able to get the job done today. So we will go into the trade reviews. All right, so here we are, AM session. I've been looking to go short here, so we'll kind of zoom in. So we saw, I saw it kind of reject here. So I see it was just saying, noting the NASDAQ. So we had a break in structure here, and I'm noting the breaker. And so that's where I'm going to enter on this breaker. And I'm looking to go just for 5 handles down into that fair value gap noted here. I moved my profit down there to 850 just because I want to see if this was gonna be more of a runner, just because we've had some quick movement today. So I'm tagged in here, and I'm expecting for this breaker to hold price down and then continue lower. But you'll see I'm going to get tagged out here pretty shortly. And then so we're tagged out, and it continues higher. So just get my screenshot here, and then we'll quickly go into ICT's trade that he takes. So he ends up, if you look on the right, I have his like Twitter stream going. So he's going to go short at 4,006. So I'm just kind of trying to outline what he's doing. And then so he was stopped out at 415 or 4015. And then he said that he went long, and then he sent a screenshot of that. I'll be posting a video of that later. So here's the lunch session. And so I was basically waiting for the run on stops here. So we had a market structure shift. We traded up into the fair value gap, and I have a mitigation block there. And so we're tagged in. I have my 5 handle stop loss right at 40.34, right above the fair value gap. So basically, if we go above that, my idea is invalidated. That's why I'm placed right there. So I noted consequent encroachment of the fair value gap from, I think, right around like 1057, that top green box. And so we basically moved down to the 5 handle profit target. and I have my initial buy stop at 9.5 handles. I wanted to basically make up my previous loss plus extra here. So I'm basically waiting for some movement right here. I wasn't really expecting it to come back up. We have the dollar pushing higher. So I noted a S&T with NASDAQ, and we're finally getting some movement lower here. So we'll kind of keep an eye on this. So I'm just kind of noting we took sell side. I'm looking for it to, like I could have, tagged out right here, but I wanted to hold this for a bigger move just because we had ripped up all this morning, and I'm really looking for this thing to push lower. So I noted consequent encroachment of that fair value gap. I moved my buy stop down, just closing my risk on this trade. And I basically moved my take profit to 10 handles, just an even 10 handles. And that's right in that fair value gap that I had mentioned previously. So that trade was finished. And then, so this is the end of the day macro. Like I said, we went down, we took sell side. I'm on the 15 second. I'm trying to kind of frame a trade here. But I kind of like backed out. I wanted to see what I was going to do, how I was going to react. So I have that fair value gap and the order block noted there. And I'm basically looking to frame my entry here. So we took out buy stops. I noted the order block on the 1 minute. And I have my mitigation block. So we have a high, a low, and then a higher high. And then so I'm entering on the combination of the mitigation block and the fair value gap. And then I also have that order block there. So my initial risk was 1-to-1. And then once I got movement up, I quickly moved my stop up. Just because it's end of the day macro, it shouldn't come in and take me out. It quickly went to my 8 handles on there. Like I said, if I was doing multiple contracts, I would have peeled one off there. I could have peeled one off right here at this next swing high, and then the ultimate. You can see my little target up there. That is the kind of the ultimate target for the move. I went ahead and labeled that buy side there, and we'll watch this play out. So something to work up towards. Taking partials, multiple contracts, but there it would have been tagged out. And we will jump into the TopStep Dashboard and the trade journal. All right, so here we are, TopStep Dashboard. We're currently at 1,112.12 cents out of the 3,000. We have completed 5 days. It's a pretty decent equity curve so far. And so, you can see our trailing max loss was at 4,800. Now it's up 1,112. So that's that trailing stop loss that trailing max loss. So here we are overall, 60% win rate, average winning trade 295.42, average losing trade 238.95. And then you can see here for the 23rd, we had 3 trades, overall profit of 623.76. And then we had that one loss of 267.08. So, so that is that. So we're a third of the way. We'll go to the trade log. So we had our first trade, 1024, ES long, AM session. We went, this is actually a short. We went short. Minus 267.08 on that one. It was a 4-minute trade. My stop loss was 5 1/4 handle. And then we have our screenshot here. And then we have the next trade at 11:30. We went short, New York lunch. This was a profit of 495.42. This was in the OTE range, displacement, market structure shift, lunch macro, S&T, mitigation, the 1 minute. This was a 40-minute or a 48-minute trade. Maximum drawdown was 4 handles. And I'll look at the screenshot here. This is what I took when we executed that. And then the last one was the at 3:40. This was a long PM session, so we took sell stops, displacement. We had a fair value gap, order block, mitigation. This was around the new week opening gap. And then we have our macro. This was a 3-minute trade, 0.75 handle of drawdown. And then our last screenshot here. That's what I was seeing when I closed it. Like I said, ultimate target was up here. Let's look at the calendar. So our first trading day was on the 17th. After that first week, we were up 336. And then this week, Monday, we were up 211. We had a losing day. On Tuesday, down 204. Wednesday, we had a quick 3-handle scalp, 145. And then today we had 3 trades, 1 loss, 2 wins, up 623. So I won't be doing any trades tomorrow. I basically met my goal for the week. We're up 775.86. So my goal is anywhere between 500 and 1,000. So we had a 1.5% week, up overall 2.22%. So yeah, no trades for tomorrow, but we will look at the economic calendar. I'll still be watching price, but we have the durable goods at 8:30 and then a PMI composite flash 9:45. And then I think this is someone from the FOMC that speaks at 9:30. So just kind of keep an eye on that. But anyways, thanks for watching, and we will check back in on the next video.